Massive news for Cardano holders and Bitcoin holders alike. It looks like Cardano is now tapping into Bitcoin's over $1 trillion in liquidity with this latest upgrade on the Bitcoin OS bridge integration. So what exactly are we talking about? Here you can see Cardano tapping the Bitcoin OS to integrate the liquidity into its DeFi ecosystem. Now, if we read the article here, you can see Bitcoin OS made Bitcoin infinitely upgradable without any changes to the core Bitcoin code, and developers can build on Bitcoin without soft forks, enabling unlimited scaling and functionality. Now, they just announced this in July, and you fast forward to today, Cardano comes home to Bitcoin and groundbreaking BOS Grail Bridge integration. Let's learn a little bit more about what this means. So this is going to make Cardano the second major layer 1 to plug into the BOS infrastructure after Bitcoin. So Cardano is going to have first mover advantage, unlocking all this Bitcoin liquidity. But really a bigger question is, why do they need to do this? Why is Bitcoin trying to upgrade, and why is it trying to bridge into other L1s and, utilize their smart contract functionality? Well, here is a great description. Now, Bitcoin compromises almost 60% of the total value of the crypto market. That's why they have the $1.3 trillion figure. But on the other hand, Bitcoin network only accounts for a tiny fraction of all crypto activity. Altcoin networks have more scalability and programmability than Bitcoin. So now we need Cardano to basically pick up a little bit of slack when it comes to Bitcoin doing smart contract functions and things with zero knowledge proofs. Now, here's the announcement from the Bitcoin OS team.
So we have this tension where Bitcoin can be and is popular and can be used for holding value. And as a result, we've got $1.4 trillion effectively dormant or trapped in Bitcoin. And we have projects like Cardano building out tools that would allow you to do much more, to trade in a decentralized fashion, to lend in a decentralized fashion, and to build effectively an entire decentralized web architecture. We have functionality.
So with Bitcoin using Cardano's functionality, that unlocks all types of potential for Cardano, and especially Cardano DeFi. Now, this is from Emurgo. Emurgo is the team behind Cardano. They are the main team building all of Cardano's tech, and they view the collaboration as a step towards more interconnected space. Now, the CEO of Emurgo, Ken Kodama, he's actually one of the co-founders of Cardano with Charles Hoskinson, he has this to say. The potential to unlock new cross-chain capabilities will help drive adoption of DeFi. He's saying the BOS bridge and the zero-knowledge tech could further strengthen Cardano by opening access for the users, projects, and developers to secure and trustless path to Bitcoin. So what does this mean for the price? What does this mean for DeFi? Is there any opportunity in Cardano? Well, folks, I got two things I really need to show you. First is going to be the Cardano charts. Right now, we are in the middle of a little bit of a bullish diversion. So you can see here, the price is relatively flat while the strength index is skyrocketing to the upside. But this has happened in Cardano's past. So what happened to Cardano's price in the past when we saw these divergences? Well, you can see one right here, the price moving to the downside, relative strength index relatively flat, high move to the upside, massive pump there. You're able to get a very, very nice 16,000% pump. Now, this one was a lot smaller. I think this only led to about a 4x. We went from about 6 cents all the way down to about 2.5 cents, and in a very short amount of time had a nice little spike to right around 7.5 cents in a little bit more than a month there. So here you can see relative strength index flat. There you can see the price moving to the downside. And now we're seeing the relative strength index move to the upside, meaning more strength in Cardano's price, and typically the market is going to follow. But what about Cardano Bitcoin? We're looking at Cardano USD. If we go to ADA Bitcoin, I see the same thing, but I gotta warn you, there is a little bit of an asterisk on this one. Now we see the same thing. Price moving to the downside, relative strength index moving strongly to the upside. This is weekly charts we're looking at. If you go the 3-day, even stronger to the upside. And if you go to the daily, you can see, still holding firm. We're still seeing a lot of strength in the markets. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a warning because it could go down a little bit further while still respecting the RSI. If we look at the previous pump, now this is when we went from about 400 sats all the way up to over 4,000 sats. This was Cardano going 10x against Bitcoin. You'll see the relative strength index took a while for the price to reflect it. Now, I could have said the same thing right here. You can see the price is flat, and if we move straight down from this red candle, looks like the relative strength index is moving to the upside. And then guess what? The price did move to the upside. We got a little bit of a pump, Then we came back down. We tested this line, and then it finally moved to the upside. In fact, it basically came all the way back down again, and then it had a final move to the upside. So doesn't mean relative strength index won't pop up and then come back down to test. I do predict, though, this eventually has to end, folks. Eventually, Cardano is going to have to pump against Bitcoin. It's just what the markets are telling me. It's not what I'm saying. It's what the markets, it's what the charts are telling me. It's what the analysis is telling me. Now let's talk about Cardano opportunity. So ADA, I think it's a steal. I think it's a great buy. If you look at the charts right here, 34 cents. Feels like it's going to be shooting up to 50 before you know it. But what about Cardano DeFi? Now, we went to CoinGecko, we looked at categories, and we filtered it by ADA project. If you go right here, folks, you can actually choose your chain. So we're looking at all the Cardano DeFi tokens, and there's two strong projects I would really want to highlight. One is going to be Meld. Meld is kind of working with the EVM bridges, so it works with Avalanche, works with Cardano, and so I could see a lot of activity flowing into Meld as people try to get exposure. And then also the top DEX on Cardano, think Uniswap on Cardano, that's going to be MinSwap. Very low market caps for these two coins. Meld only 50 million, MinSwap still under 20 million. And if you look at Uniswap, Uniswap's market cap is 6 billion. So you're looking at a huge upside if it were even to get a fraction of Uniswap's value. So that's two projects I would keep an eye on. I would not be selling my Cardano at these levels, especially with this huge upgrade. And so we're about to unlock over $1 trillion of liquidity. What do you think that's going to do to ADA's price? I think it's going to be very positive. And I'll see you and your ADA bags at the top.